Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 54th session of the community call. I'm Robert, a developer advocate at the Starknet Foundation, and I will be your host for today. We're excited to have the Node Guardian team here as our invited speakers for this session. And we have Sam handling spells at Node Guardians, together with Hector and Brian, high mages and dungeon crawlers at Node Guardians. Our focus for today's discussion is all about gamifying Cairo's advanced learning with Node Guardians, where we'll discuss in detail what it is, how the journey started, and at the end we can show you a quick demo. For our viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the YouTube chat section or X, and we'll do our best to address them. Welcome, Sam. Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Hector. How are you guys doing?
Thank you very much. Doing good, and you?
Super excited for this session, I think we can get started with a few Q&As from my end, and if the public has any questions, feel free to address them. But let's start with the general question: what is Node Guardians?
I'll take it. So G-Node, everyone. Thanks for having us, by the way. I am Sam, and I work on Node Guardians. And Node Guardians is basically it's a tool to onboard developers on credible ecosystems. It kind of looks like a role-playing game, but instead of hacking and slashing with your mouse and keyboard and killing the monsters, you need to write code to solve, capture the flag, programming challenges, you name it. You solve the challenges, and you get credentials in returns and skills along the way that are supposed to help you reach a meaningful outcome. Our goal is to make the process as fun as possible, basically.
Great, awesome. And now follow-up questions, like how the journey started for Node Guardians, how the whole journey started from the beginning. What were some key challenges as well that you encountered?
All right, so before Node Guardians, my team and I were doing a lot of grants for different protocols, I guess, and we kind of noticed that there was a lack for content that caters to intermediate to advanced developers. That was the first observation. And there was a lack of interactive content, a lot of tech writing out there, but there wasn't that much content that is actually offering a certain level of interactivity. And I was thinking about what to do next with my teammates, and I was like, let's do something that's actually market fit, that has a positive impact in the space, and that is framed into something that we actually love. That is to say, video games, role-playing games, to be more accurate. And so the blend of all these ideas led to that very exotic final product, which is Node Guardians. Something that is supposed to address that critical need protocols have while being fun to use and being fun to design to a certain extent. Brian and Hector have no choice but to say that we all have fun in this company. It's great. They have all of their hair left, which suggests that they have an amazing treatment among us. So I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the genesis story of Node Guardians, a role-playing game to onboard developers in Web3. I don't like that term, but cool ecosystems.
Got it. And any notes from Hector and Brian? Like how was your journey so far with Node Guardians? Blink twice if you need help.
It's a premiere. I'm just gonna add that real quick. I think it's the first time that we're all on the call with our that they have some kind of podcast where they actually disclose themselves. So enjoy it, guys, because these guys are doing all the heavy lifting. They're much sharper than me. So I'm really happy that they have the bandwidth now to speak.
Yeah,
I'll let you start, Brian. Sure.
No, nothing much, honestly. It's just good vibes. I think in general, the team is quite proud of what we have built over the past, say, 2 years. I think what we have built is something. I wouldn't say it's like the most fantastic thing, but I would say it's different from what I usually see in different educational platforms. I think we have our own distinct flavor and flair when it comes to doing things, and yeah, it's something that we all take pride in. Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree. And I just wanted to add that we're also starting to see some success stories, I would say. Some of our users that managed to get good position here and there, and they claim that it's partly because of NG. It feels really good. And every time we share those kind of stories between us, yeah, it's another kind of pride. The product, we like the product, and it seems that users are liking the product and that it's useful to them. So very, very good for everyone, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I can add as a user from my point of view, I know like I tried Node Guardians last year at ECC, and back then there was a CTF announced. And honestly, you know, like the whole gamification of solving the puzzles and the challenges are like amazing. It's fun to work on them, but also like work together with a team on these challenges. And yeah, I think the gamification of it's quite nice. And also we can get into some of the details of like the rewards you get if you solve them. But mainly, I guess my first question would be on this: is like what are some key challenges when you're trying to gamify a particular quest or campaign? Like what would you find like it's great to do? What are some difficult things to do?
Maybe I can take this one. I think it's an interesting question. I think the problem crops up when we first tackle a language. In general, I think that when you teach any programming language, it is quite difficult to scale it in a sense that, say, you teach Rust versus Cairo, there are a lot of similarities, such that if you create content for Rust, it's easy to end up creating content for Cairo that's very similar to Rust, and because it's difficult to discern between the two types of content, it's not interesting to the user to do both. In that sense, I think the main challenge lies in creating content that is fun. And we do have tricks to do it. I'm sure our users will know. Like we try to embed storylines or embed little esoteric challenges into our quests, so as to not make the learning dry. Yeah, and I generally think that is the number one struggle you might have after doing like 5 or 6 quests, or after designing 5 or 6 quests. But yeah, I would say we still have our ways. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And anything else, Hector, you might want to add, or?
I'm less involved than Brian in quest creation. I usually follow his lead. Just wanted to add that sometimes we also came across, we're just asking a question between us, playing with Solidity, and we came across some very weird stuff, and we created a new quest out of it. There's also some quests that just come out of nowhere, I would say, and are pretty good. But most of them, yeah, it's we have to work on designing the quest, the lore, the art, and as Brian said, trying to always keep it fun, enjoyable, so that users don't drop out from it and from NG.
Brian is the game master. Hector is being a bit shy and humble. He's also been like implementing a few challenges, but yeah, I think Brian said pretty much like everything in regards to the hurdles, the challenges that we encounter when trying to make new stacks actually fun to learn, to master, breaking them into like abstracting the complexity of certain concepts into steps that are actually intuitive to solve to a certain extent, yet challenging, complex, dosing everything. And in order to achieve that kind of balance, we also need to have a specific pipeline. I mean, like most products do, we don't just like send challenges to production immediately. It goes through basically like game testing. We have a few weeks of beta tests with our users to ensure that the quest is like intelligible, fun to solve to a certain extent. And then like we just adjust the difficulty accordingly and the whole experience. We try to be very careful with that.
Yeah, maybe I can give some more concrete examples in the context of Cairo. So right now in our existing Cairo challenges, there's one which I think is pretty popular, where you implement the brainfuck compiler on the Cairo VM. I think that's pretty fun. Our introductory quest, I say introductory because it's still a bit difficult even at an introductory level. Our introductory Cairo quests also involve classical programming challenges, but there's a little twist where it requires you to understand Cairo's immutable memory model to actually solve the challenges. Yeah, and in our, I don't know how much I can say, but in the future we are currently working on some sort of like CTF like adventure where you kind of deal with different quote unquote vulnerabilities on contracts as you are sort of doing this dungeon crawling adventure. I can't say much now because it's still in the works, but yeah, things like that to make make learning Cairo fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds super exciting, and I'm looking forward to more alpha on that. And one note on the brainfuck VM, the name definitely stands by itself, because I did try that particular exercise, and it was quite challenging and fun. Hopefully, for the listeners, they also try it as well, and solve it and get some rewards out of it. So I think in mid March you announced that the beta stage is finally over for Node Guardians. And first, I would like to congratulate your team for achieving this achievement. And on this point, what changes have been made throughout the process? What new features have been introduced to Node Guardians?
Hector, you want to take it?
Yeah. Technically speaking, not really technically for users, we added something to take the gamification even further with achievements. So now the different progress that you can do in Solidity or Cairo, or just playing with items, playing with the platform, can grant you specific achievements that will be they can be fairly common or extremely rare. It just depends on what you do. Some of them are very specific for doing a very hard quest, like we have some for self-hosted EVM and stuff like this. We also completely revamped the item system, so it's easier for users to get the items they want to get and to have their character look really, really cool. We also added a bunch of new items compared to what we had before. At the technical level, also the front end was completely revamped. Brand new architecture. Everything is smoother. Everything should work nicer, be faster, and yeah. So it was really deep rework of the front end, deep rework of the the approach to gamification, trying to maximize enjoyability from users and retention through those achievements, new rewards, new items. And also it's we're starting to support new languages like Huff. We also have Noir, and we can now like iterate and add new content easier, I would say.
Great. Yeah, definitely a lot of changes have been made. I know, like initially last year there was more of you were earn the coins, and then you could unlock chests, and then you would get the items. But now it's the whole different process, and I think we also have a skill tree that
Yes.
seems interesting with 4 different categories: the battle mage, the defender, ranger, and scholar. And then on each of them you can associate a certain skill point, and then you can get the highest tier equipment as well.
Yeah.
So,
I forgot to mention that, but items are now conditioned on partly on achievements, partly on the skill tree. So you have to progress through the game to get the items you want, but you don't have to pray to the random gods to get the item you want in the chest anymore. You can now, you know what you have to do if you want to get this specific item.
sounds fair. Yeah, and definitely like the new look on the items are looking really cool. And like if you're having the latest tier, you can show off to your friends that what equipment you have on your character. And also an interesting aspect, I think, as I'm not entirely sure if this is already implemented, but maybe in the future, there was a mention of a leaderboard and a Hall of Fame. maybe someone can discuss about this.
It's been achieved internally. It's partially live, I would say. Um, I think Hector described a few of the new features that have been introduced by this update and the tweaks. And if I share the screen, I'll be able to show what I'm exactly talking about here. But we just introduced a new game mode recently called gas optimization, gas golfing, and you do have leaderboards now. Uh, 10 best solvers, so people who have the most optimal solution to the problem, are displayed, and then that creates an interesting dynamic where people want to stay in that top 10 in that displayed page. So for now, yeah, we have leaderboard on these gas golfing challenges, and as we are satisfied with our broader leaderboard Hall of Fame, I think we'll be rolling out something out pretty soon that will create some very expressive, very like I guess like visual and nice to check interface, like representing someone's progress in the game and achievements overall. So we're getting there. We're just sometimes scratching our heads a bit too much in order to make sure that we ship something that the community will appreciate. And but yeah, it's coming pretty soon. But for now, you can find leaderboards on our latest challenge, which is the Valorant Gas Golfing campaign. On the first challenge is a leaderboard, and yeah, I invite you to check it out. Yeah.
Great. And for our viewers, I'm pasting the link for Node Guardians if you want to try it out. There's the link, and then you can also follow them on Twitter to see the latest development there. And now, as I think going back a little bit on the items, I know like there's a lot of items in the game or on Node Guardians, but there's some rare items as well. Namely, I think on Noir Quest you have something like Sun Shard. Is there something like that on the Cairo side, or will there be something like that?
You guys want to take it, or
Yeah, maybe I can take this one. So generally, yeah, it is true that we do have items for we do have an array of items. And these items, like, they all kind of have like a story in our in-game universe. Yeah, so say you complete a very difficult quest in, say, Noir, or say we have this campaign called Get Wrecked, which is based on past historical exploits that we kind of spin off from. And if say you do these hard quests, you will get sort of unique legendary items they can equip your avatar with. But we treat Cairo differently. So to us, Cairo is a whole language, and because it's a whole language, we give it a whole region in our in-game universe. And because of that, it's not just one item. We have a whole armor set, or rather, in the future, a set of armor sets. But yeah, if you look at the website now, you look at the avatar preview, you can see that we have like Egyptian-inspired armor, weapons, and things like that just for Cairo. So if you successfully do enough Cairo quests, you can purchase these items, and if you successfully do enough hard Cairo quests, you can upgrade them to a legendary level. So yeah, this is kind of like the proof of skill thing we have, or proof of time spent on the platform that we have implemented.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely interested in like the current armor set for the Cairo developers are definitely looking great, and I think the different tier levels as well it makes it even more for the solvers or the how to say high mages to achieve those items as well. So yeah, and I think I have one more question, and this was also regarding a recent announcement you have about the new partnership with Only Dust. Would you tell could you tell us what it is about, like what consists, and what would be the benefits for the Cairo developers with this partnership?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to cover one principle of the Node Guardians platform. We're not really into directly issuing funding to people who complete something on the platform, because we strongly believe that this might change the relationship that people have with the actual Node Guardians, like, yeah, platform as a whole. So we're trying to be very cautious with that. But we want value for people that spend their time on the platform, learn things on the platform. We want to make sure that they can leverage or reap the benefits of the time they spend on the platform. There's some kind of interesting thing here. If you complete Cairo quests on Node Guardians, that suggests that you understand a thing or two on a specific design pattern or a specific aspect of the stack, and that you're more likely to ship safer production code or code in general. So if you have a certain level of progress on Cairo, with Cairo Node Guardians, you can actually get a small bonus on the rewards that you get on Only Dust by when you contribute to open source missions, basically. So Only Dust gets, let's say, a higher level, a contributor that's like more skilled to a certain extent and better contributions, which will benefit to its prospects. And folks have fun learning new things, hopefully, and they can get more value doing something that they eventually like, or doing something that has to do with Cairo. So some kind of like in DeFi they say 3-3, but I'm shivering saying that. I have some PTSD, but it's some kind of alignment that we have here. I'll stop with the sketchy semantics, but this is pretty much what the partnership is about. And we hope to broaden it with different flavors in the future, but each thing in its own time.
Got it. Exciting news then. And yeah, looking forward to the new flavors that will be coming to Node Guardians, and new challenges on the Cairo side as well. We do have a question from Kubi, and it's regarding the items that we mentioned. So the question is, are those items NFTs, or how or where are they stored currently?
So I will take it. So right now, no, they are not NFTs. Right now, they are stored in the Node Guardian database. We have designs ready to make them NFTs in the future. We're just not rushing this for now, but it's definitely something we talked about, something that several users actually already asked us if it could be taken on chain. So it's something we may actually be doing this year. Right now, it's not the case. Right now, they are not NFTs, but the designs are somewhat ready for it. So we may be going in this direction.
It's a decentralized database on GCP. It's very credible. Actually, you'll be surprised. High liveness, you name it.
Everyone can access it.
And I'd like to greet the community and QB as well, who was a nice folk I've had the chance to meet in the past. Good to see you here.
Awesome, great. He says thanks a lot for elaborating. So thank you for responding to a question. And I think if you want, we can get into the demo to see the platform in action. So I'll give you sure access.
Brian, you should lead this.
Are we doing the speed run of one of the Cairo challenges?
I mean, I was actually about to present, but if you want to do it,
this is no rehearsal. Yeah, you go with Actor.
Okay.
So your election mechanism.
We have consensus.
Exactly.
And share. Okay, do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
We share the screen, not the sequencer, guys. Never.
Okay. So everyone can see Node Guardians?
We can.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to take an example. So first, this is a platform for people who don't know about it yet. That your landing page. So you have news, new quest, new content always displayed there. And you can get a list of everything if you want. We're starting to have quite a bit of content, actually. All of that. All of those include art, they include lore. Brian did an amazing work on most of them, also with the art team, Julius, Adam, and everyone. And so yeah, everything is like tailor-made, and you have some content for different languages. So it can be Solidity, it could be Cairo, it could be Huff. So here I'm sorry, I'm just going to take an example. If we filter for Cairo, this is the Cairo content that we have currently. So as Brian said, we have the items are like Egyptian style. All the quests also match this this design. So this graphic, all the graphic are like Egyptian side, and yeah. So this is the content we have. We can also bundle some quests into campaigns. So for Cairo, once again, we actually have for now 2 campaigns. So bad accounts, those one is CTF, get towards account abstraction. What are the do's and the don't of account abstraction on Cairo? And thinking in Cairo, this one is a campaign that's more for learning Cairo through various design patterns, and it's actually the 3rd quest of it, which is racing riverboats. That's the one that I'm gonna showcase now to show you how it works when you try to solve a build quest. But just before that, I just want to note, hey, I'm talking about build quest. We actually have 3 types of quests. So there's a build. Those ones you will download some code that we prepared. We prepare everything. You have the test, you have a boilerplate code, and you will have to implement some specifications if you want. We can actually start it if you want to see the inside. Up. Okay, so this is the law with a bit of art. You have this for every single quest. And then you get into the technical part. So this one is basically about how to cross a river that's full of crocodiles, how to do it safely. To do it safely, you have to implement some Cairo code to identify where the risky zones, and in the end, how to cross the river. So you have some specifications, some examples of what to do. Then we tell you what your task again, and you will always find for build quest the command to test everything. So if you want to start this, you can do quest find. It's with the CLI that we provide. So you can go here and you do quest find, and the quest is called racing riverboats. If I write it good, it's better. Yes. Sorry, I did a little mistake. Up. Okay. So you can download the quest, and now the CLI will tell you instantly where you have to go. So we can go into campaigns, Cairo Thinking, Racing Riverboats. And if you open your code editor, you can always find it there. So if you go to Cairo Thinking and Racing Riverboats, you have the boilerplate code. So here you have to implement this. This will be with the specs that I showed before. You have other boilerplate code, other stuff to implement, and all the tests are already present. So you can run quest test to have some pre-made tests. Some are passing by default, some are not. You have to preserve the ones that are passing, and you have to make the failing one. You have to make them work, basically. So this is the build quest. Just in the interest of time, I will put the right solution already there and do a submission just to show you what it looks like. So if I do this, and now I can retest everything, and everything is good. So now you're basically ready to submit on the website. So you always have the results here. So this one wasn't working before, and now I'm going to do another submission. So I just do a quest submit. Finished racing riverboats. You have to have some familiarity with Git, but as soon as you have this, you can get into it. So everything has been pushed. Here it should be picked up by the website automatically. That's what's going on here. Now our servers are verifying everything, including some private tests, so that you guys don't hard code solution for public tests, and we just make sure that everything is good. And automatically you have everything, and you will also receive your achievements for different quests and different kind of content. You will get different kind of achievements. And this is a build quest, so you really have to work. This is the production stuff. And so this is an example for build quest, so developing with your IDE on locally and then submitting your code through GitHub. But as I said, we also have different kind of quests. So I can filter. We have CTF. So those ones are always on chain. So if we stick to Cairo CTF, we have the 3 quests of bad accounts. As I said, they are tailored for account abstraction. So you will deploy some contracts if you go there, for every CTF quest, at the bottom, you have the contract that you will have to understand, maybe figure out some vulnerability and implement a way to hack them. You will have to do all of that on chain. So you still have like specification, description, what you have to do. In this specific contract, you have to set an isOpen variable to true. And at the bottom, you can deploy your contract. So you log in with, it could be Bravos or Agent, whatever wallet you like. And then you deploy your contract. It's when it's deployed, it's on chain, and you have to hack it. And whenever you feel like, you can click verify, just to tell our server to verify if you actually solved it or not. So CTF quests are fully on chain, and you have a last type of content, which is theory agnostic. Theory. Those ones are going to be more like a quiz about different topics. So this, you have the quiz here. You have like all the time, you have a lot of text, a lot of content, some links pointing you to relevant documentation and references, just to explain you a topic, and then you have a bunch of questions on the topic. This one is elliptic curve, but we have some for decentralization and many of the Web3 topics. And as Sam said, we implemented the last game mode, which is the new one, which is gas golfing. This one is purely Solidity, but just about being the best optimizer. I can actually show the leaderboard that we were talking about before. It's just about being the best optimizer for very simple task. This one, for instance, is just removing duplicate value in an array. And you can do your submission and redo it when you find an improvement. And if you're good enough, you can make your way into the leaderboard that's updated in live. And yeah, like pure vanity, pure optimization. It's very often pretty bad looking code, but it works very, very well. And it consumes very, very little gas. If that's what you're into, you can go also into gas golfing mode, which is currently only Solidity, but we're going to discuss how to make it compatible with Cairo. And yeah, I would say that's the platform for now. I can maybe show you quickly the characters also, where you have your achievements, the skill trees that we talked about before. So you will, as you progress through the content on Node Guardian, you will get some skill points that you can spend in the skill tree. And through the skill tree, you get some of the requirements for items. So we can go, if we want, in the inventory. And here you see that we have a bunch of items. Some are unlockable, like this one. I can, because I do have this requirement, which is just a skill in the skill tree. And for some, I can't. For instance, if I take the legendary version of this lantern, I can't because I am missing this achievement. And yeah, so you just progress through the content, try to make to get all the requirements for the items you want. For instance, this is the top headset for the helmet, for Cairo. And the legendary version looks like this. You just have to have 30 skill points in Cairo and do Cairo build or CTF quest with difficulty level 5. So it starts to be serious content. And if you have everything, then you can, for vanity, and you can flex in front of everyone, showing that you do have those equipment, which are, as Brian said, some kind of proof of skill, because having them means that you solve some hard content on Node Guardian. And yeah, that's it for now. I don't know if there's anything specific you want me to cover on the platform.
From my point of view, I think you covered everything, the introduction to challenges and how to navigate the platform. And honestly, what I can say is like your character has really nice swag, so I'm jealous on that. I'm looking forward to achieve more swag as well. And is it true that if you unlock a certain level, you have a certain title, like a high mage or something like that?
This is for Discord, yeah. Yeah, automatically, if you, I think it's if you do one Solidity quest, you become a Solidity mage. If you do 3, you become a Solidity high mage. We have something similar for Cairo. And you used to have access to restricted Discord channels, but now to emphasize discussion and exchange of information between users, and help within the community. We just opened all the channels, sorry, but we kept the roles. You still get them once again for vanity.
Nice. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say it's really nice to have like particular titles that like users and users for the platform can achieve and strive for. So
it's really part of the culture. A mage, high mages, and scholars are some of the titles that we have on the platform, and we're trying to tie some not some status but some rewards to this. I think it will eventually blossom in the future. But there's an interesting aspect that hasn't been covered in this demo, is that should you really encounter an issue like with a quest, or you really need a hint, you can just go on Discord and ask your question. Someone from the community will eventually give you an answer, or then Hector or Brian or someone else from the team will also be here to help you. So any engineer at Node Garden is basically a customer support specialist as well. So you will not you'll never walk alone. That's one thing that's cool to add here. And in regards to the theory, you might actually want to know more about elliptic curve cryptography if you tackle the stealth address challenge, for instance. So they kind of complete the practical selection of challenges that we have here. So if you're not familiar with certain concepts, we try to abstract them for you and give you the right luggage, the right tools to defeat the dragon here. That's the idea.
Yeah, definitely. And I think always start with the least difficulty or the least amount of swords, and then slowly move up to slay more dragons or bigger dragons in that sense.
Exactly.
Awesome. So I think we're slowly reaching an end of our community call. If there are any closing remarks you guys want to make.
I'm Brian, Hector. Well, I'll gladly take it.
Yeah, me just for anyone watching and discovering Node Guardian, like you're very welcome. As Sam said, hope you guys have fun with the challenges. If you feel stuck at any point in time, any day of the week, just send us a message. It's all about learning and having a good time. So if we can help with that, just don't hesitate.
Yeah, I would say we welcome Cairo developers of all levels. Say you are relatively new to Cairo, you just completed Starklinks. I think Node Guardians is a great next step because the challenges are a bit more complex, and we do have like a pretty wholesome community that's willing to help you, us included as well. This is pretty good vibes overall. Say you are a beginner with zero experience in Cairo. Eventually, we will also bridge this missing gap right now, where we'll provide more beginner-friendly content, and eventually we would like Node Guardians to be a good place to start as well. Even for advanced Cairo developers, I do think there are some somewhat difficult challenges on the platform that doing it you might learn a thing or two. So yeah.
Great.
They've said everything, and yeah, feel free to check it out. Share your feedback as well, and yeah.
Well, then, Sam, Brian, and Hector, thank you for being here. It was a wonderful experience and a pleasure to talk to you. To our viewers, thank you for joining on and tuning for the 54th community call. Don't forget to try Node Guardians and achieve those rewards and equipment. And I'm wishing everybody a fantastic day. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. And check out the Cairo book as well. Forgot to mention it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.